Hello and welcome back once again to After the Credits. So today, again, got around to seeing a movie that's been out for a little bit. Been wanting to see it, but again, financial issues getting in the way. Now I'm finally able to catch up a little bit. Still can't quite swing seeing every movie that I want to see right now. I'm going to try and squeeze them in little by little, but honestly, I'm flat broke right now. I think I have enough money in my savings account to probably pay my bills up until the end of the year. After that, I'm kind of screwed unless I manage to find work fairly soon, which I have been looking. Just the one thing I've always hated about Florida is last time I lived here, or the last 2 times I've lived here, it's been next to impossible for me to get a job. Any other place I've ever lived, within 2-3 weeks to a month of being there, I have 3-4 jobs lined up. People call me even after I've started working somewhere else for jobs. And I've been in Florida almost 6 months now and nothing. And it's not that I haven't been trying. So as I get closer to the end of each month and bills are due, there goes more of my money. So the extra spending that I do, like going to see movies, has to get cut back a little bit. And that's probably why you haven't seen many product placement videos. There's been a lot of stuff I've wanted to try. It's just, I can't justify paying $5 for a bag of chips or a pack of cookies when that $5 could buy me dinner for a week, So until finances switch around, I don't know, I might have to take another short hiatus or something, but we'll make it work. I'll do something. I'll go back into gaming, I guess. That way you guys still have videos. But, yeah, movie reviews, product placements, things like that might have to take a backseat for a little while. I'm actually not even sure if I'm going to be able to do a Halloween-themed episode of product placement this year. And I think that's the one thing that's been consistent every year is a Halloween episode. I have looked for some Halloween stuff, but most of the new flavors I've seen this year have been things I've tried before, so yeah, whatever. Anyway, this isn't supposed to be a vlog, this is supposed to be a movie review. So what movie did I get around to seeing today? I got around to seeing Masterminds. So what is Masterminds about? It's about people that work for an armored car company who one day decide they're going to rob the armored car and make off with a bunch of money, and the government's in pursuit of trying to get their money back. So what did I think of it? It was okay. It wasn't quite as funny as I thought it was going to be. It's like Zach Galifianakis film, and I don't know, he's always kind of hit or miss with me with comedy. Like, I can watch one movie he's in and laugh like endlessly at the stuff he does and says, and then other times I'll watch a movie and I'll just be like, okay, he's really reaching here, and it's just not that good. Masterminds, though, it was an enjoyable film, I guess. I wasn't bored watching it, but at the same time, the comedy aspects they were going for, again, they were really kind of reaching. I didn't laugh as much as other people were, I guess. So overall, the movie kind of reminds me of Pain and Gain, where, again, a bunch of kind of not so smart people commit a crime, make off with a bunch of money, and through their own ignorance, I guess, end up getting caught in the long run. In fact, this movie kind of plays out semi-similarly, except not quite as centralized as Pain and Gain was. And again, this is based on a true story, so this did actually happen to a degree. I'm not sure, again, how much of these based on a true story films are changed from the actual events, but apparently this did actually happen somewhere. Maybe there's something to that old adage that you're too smart for your own good. Like, honestly, if all these not-so-bright people can commit these crimes and get away with it, and the only reason they get caught is because they eventually start acting stupid about everything, maybe it's my own intelligence that's keeping me back in this world. Maybe I should just, no. I was going to say maybe I should go out and rob a bank, but no. Because I'm smart enough to know that I don't want to go to prison if I were to get caught. So, no bank robbing for me. But yeah, so, I don't know. You see these types of movies, and then you find out that these people are of very low intelligence, and it's like, it would seem like it's just such an easy thing to do, I used to work with a guy whose uncle actually robbed a bank once. He got caught, but he pulled it off, he got away with it for a while. They eventually managed to track him down and find out who he was, but for the most part, he pulled it off, So, I don't know, it seems like banks really need to crack down or something, because it seems like a lot of dumb people can get past your security fairly easily. So if a smart person actually broke down and was like, screw it, I'm going to do it, you got to question, how would you ever catch them? Again, you know, crime labs are a lot more advanced nowadays, so it's a lot easier to catch people, even if they are fairly more intelligent. But then again, those aren't the ones that get movies made about them, are they? It's always the kind of ignorant ones. It's always kind of that mystery of, wow, these people managed to pull this off. And if it wasn't for their own stupidity, they would have gotten away with it. You know, so it always kind of makes you wonder, but then, you know, you actually look into things and you find out, well, you know, a lot of smart people did it too, but, you know, they still screwed up and got caught, but you never hear about them. I don't know, it's just a weird situation in this world, isn't it? So for a quick breakdown of what happens in the film, basically you see the entire movie in the preview. There's a guy working at the armored car company. He's working with this girl who he kind of likes. She ends up getting fired from the company and is staying with a friend of hers who turns out to be a petty crook. And the whole reason they decide to rob this armored car is because they want to be on TV. They want to be in the news as, oh, somebody did this, and they want to know that it was them. You know, they don't want the world to know it was them. They just want to be able to look at that and be like, hey, those criminals that are still at large, yeah, that's us, you know? And not telling people, just kind of a joke amongst themselves. So they're talking about it, and they're like, hey, she works at the armored car place. So they ask her about it, and she's like, you know, I don't work there anymore. I haven't worked there in months. I work at, I think she said like IHOP or something like that. So they're like, well, do you still know anyone on the inside who might be able to help us? And at first she's kind of like, you know, there's the one guy, but I don't know. He's kind of a sweet guy. I don't really want to do that to him. So he's like, well, set up a meeting with me and him, and I'll see if I can talk him into it. So she sets up the meeting under the guise of a false date. And, you know, he starts talking to the guy, and he's kind of like, you know, do it for her. And he's like, okay, I'll do it for her. So they managed to pull it off. The only reason that they even have a clue who did it is because they missed one of the security cameras. They managed to take out all the security cameras, all the recording devices, but they missed one camera and one recording device. Honestly, they could have left all the cameras there and just smashed the recording equipment, and that would have been the end of that, but they didn't. They just took out the tapes and smashed the cameras, and that was it. So they know one of the people involved. They know the guy who worked there who was involved in it. So they start trying to track him down, and the ringleader of the group sent him off to Mexico to hide out. And they're like, well, they'll never catch you in Mexico, and, you know, after a few months, you know, we'll keep sending you money over the next couple months until the heat's off, and then you can come back. So he goes down to Mexico, and the only reason they find out where he's at is because the ringleader decides that he's going to turn him in for the cash reward. So he calls the FBI or whoever's, I think it was the FBI that was looking for him, and he's like, yeah, he's in Mexico, because he wants $500,000 on top of the $17 million he's just stolen. So again, their own stupidity ends up being the thing that cost them. That, and the one mistake everyone always makes is they start spending frivolously, like they start out with a shopping spree, then they start buying cars, then a mansion, and blah, blah, blah. So obviously that got the government's attention, because where are these people suddenly getting all this money? You know, you don't think the government realizes when someone springs up as a millionaire overnight? You know, their own mistakes kind of end up costing them, and there's a series of events where the guy in Mexico finds out that, you know, the ringleader kind of turned on him, so he kind of turns back on him, and he's going to reveal everything to the feds and whatnot, but then, of course, the girl gets captured, so he has to go in and try and save the girl, and in the long run ends up, you know, kind of revealing everything to the feds, and they make the arrests, and that's kind of the end of the movie. Again, you know, it's a heist movie that is being made into a movie, so obviously you know it's going to end poorly, so I'm not really spoiling anything there. You know they're going to get caught, otherwise how would they have made this movie unless people are confessing to a crime on film, in which case, again, that'd be your own stupidity biting you in the ass. One thing I will mention about this film, though, is during the credits, they actually mentioned that they're like telling like what happened to each of the people afterwards. And it says like the one guy who Zach Galifianakis' character occasionally works as a consultant on films. And they like show a picture of the actual guy with Zach Galifianakis. So apparently he was telling this story and kind of recounting it and trying to make sure it's, I guess, as accurate as possible, other than, you know, the movie magic changes. But they do actually say that almost $2 million of the money was never recovered. They also show Zach Galifianakis' character hiding the money. So it's kind of like, did this guy just admit that he actually through this film, because he was a consultant, did he actually just admit that he managed to hold on to $2 million of the money that he stole, because that's a confession. If that's what actually happened, and he's like, yeah, I managed to hide $2 million, and that's why I was able to turn my life around after I got out of jail, and he's telling people this, and it ends up on film, that's a confession. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Hollywood makes it seem like it's child's play to get away with this stuff, but either your own stupidity ends up biting you in the ass, or I guess in the case of the smarter people who do it, overthinking everything ends up biting you in the ass because you over-prepare. I don't know. So, yeah, that's basically a rundown of the film. What would I give it as far as a star rating? Again, it wasn't a bad film. As far as a movie that is based on actual events, I liked it better than Deepwater Horizon. But at the same time, it's still just kind of a middle-of-the-road movie. I didn't really laugh as much as other people in the theater were. Like, a lot of the jokes just kind of fell flat. Zach Galifianakis was kind of overreaching for a laugh here and there. So it's just kind of like, do you have to try so hard in every other film that you're in? Give it a rest, Let the jokes come naturally. It's like in the other comedy films where they just do, like, line-o-rama, and they're like, oh, let's see what jokes actually stick, and then we'll, like, insert them in the movie, and then they end up, like, having way too many of the same jokes, and it's like, pick the best joke, put it in the damn movie, and move on. Line-o-rama stuff bugs the hell out of me, and this isn't line-o-rama, but it's not far off, honestly, with the way Zach Galifianakis' comedy styling works, so it loses something there. Plus, I didn't really laugh at the jokes they did choose to leave in. I mean, I chuckled a couple times here and there, but it was for a comedy, it wasn't that good. But at the same time, like I said, I did like it better than Deepwater Horizon, and I gave that a 3. But I don't believe this film deserves a 3.5. So again, I guess I'm gonna have to give it a 3. So there you have it, my review of Masterminds. It's a middle-of-the-road film. Check it out if you like Pain and Gain. It's kind of the same thing, except I actually laughed quite a bit at Pain and Gain. Didn't really laugh that much at this. It's a Zach Galifianakis film. If you like The Hangover and stuff, or Due Date or anything like that he's been in, you might like it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of hit and miss on his films. But that's my review of it. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Links are in the description, and until next time, we'll see you after the credits.